Hello, a very good afternoon to all principals, vice principals, academic directors, and fellow teachers. Welcome to the day one of RISE 2021 webinar, where we will discuss in depth about effective English teaching and learning in a preschool setting. Now, before we move along with the programs for today, I would like to have a quick check if you can hear me loud and clear. If you can, could you just help me to type the number 1 on the chat box, please? Alright, thank you everyone. So it's good to hear that all of you are hearing me loud and clear. We have exciting programs planned out for you today and also tomorrow. So in case you haven't had the chance to download our event booklet, you may do so by clicking on the link in the chat box. My team member will be dropping them right now. Direct message. And apart from the event booklet, we also have an official RISE 2021 Telegram channel. So this is a platform where we'll be sharing all the resources throughout the webinar. So in case you haven't joined already, you may do so by scanning the QR code or by clicking on the link provided. Apart from all the live webinar resources, you will also obtain your certificate of attendance, all the video playbacks from day 1 and day 2, and as well as a little special treat, the winners teaching video under our Best Teaching Practice Awards. So I hope that this webinar is able to inspire educators with global insights on preschool trends, thus helping you to improve on your teaching and learning, and ultimately seeing growth in your learners, kickstarting their English language journey and be a confident English speaker. So we'll be looking at it today on how to create effective English learning environment in kindergartens, and at the same time we will also be looking on how to provide an impactful and sustainable teacher development environment. So I believe that day 1 will be filled with a lot of valuable insights for all of you out there. Now, without further ado, I would like to officially kickstart the event by having our very own GPEX Managing Director, Mr. Bryan Teow, the man that made all of this happen, to share a few words. So could you just help me to welcome him in the chat box, Mr. Bryan Teow?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you to the first GPEX webinar for kindergartens, RISE 2021. One thing we learned about globalization is that it has brought us closer as the world become increasingly interconnected. But this was not without its own risk. The COVID-19 pandemic did not stop at national borders. It has affected all of us regardless of our nationality, levels of education, and income or gender. The same can be said with education. Understand that the lockdown in response to COVID-19 has brought a host of challenges to conventional schooling, with nationwide schools closure within Malaysia as well as in most of other countries. In Malaysia, this crisis has exposed many inadequacies and inequities in our education system, from poor broadband access and not having electronic devices needed for online education, the lack of supportive environments needed for learning, to the misalignment between resources and learning needs. Despite this, most kindergartens still make great efforts to ensure learning continues throughout this trying period, often with children and parents having to rely on their own resources to continue learning remotely. be it the internet, televisions, radio, etc. Teachers also had to adapt new pedagogy and various modes of teaching online, for which they were not previously trained. Young learners, especially in the rural areas who do not have access to digital learning resources or lack the motivation to learn on their own, are at the risk of falling behind. During this webinar, you will gain various insights from Malaysia and Hong Kong education experts about the current and future trend of kindergarten, as well as how to steer kindergartens towards changes in the future. You will have the unique opportunity to listen to experts from these two countries exchange their views, share experiences, and identify common strategies to prepare learners for future challenges. This will help provide insights to how kindergartens can improve their current situation when it comes to teaching. And the second part of today's webinar, as explained by moderator Jason just now, our professional trainers will also shed light on the benefits of impactful and sustainable teacher development to highlight pathways to develop kindergarten teachers in order to better support their learners. We will also cover continuous mentorship in teacher development to understand how teachers can be supported throughout their teaching journey. Lastly, we will end the session by examining successful case studies and hear best practices shared by our partners to inspire us in developing confident and competent English teacher. Before I end my session today, I would like to express my special thanks to 8 speakers and panelists, who is Miss Cookie Ng Principal Cookie Ng from Hong Kong, Puan Molisa, Assistant Director of Languages, Penang State Education Department, Mr. Darren Au, Senior Business Development Manager, Greater China, Cambridge Assessment English, Mr. Edwin Pang, the founder and also CEO of My Kids Multimedia Teaching Program, Mr. Robert Wood, our CELTA lead trainer, Miss Barbara, our Mentor to You lead trainer, Miss Mei Lai, Head of Operation Melody Kinderland Group of Companies, and also Miss Kiu Xin Ting from Young's Kingdom. So it's my hope that you will obtain a lot of insight throughout this webinar. Please enjoy RISE 2021.